Hey y'all, this is Anna Alexander. Welcome to the living room as we're about to watch episode 5 of the series Bridgerton, available now on Netflix. And it's episode 5, which means we have crested the hill. We're going to start rolling downhill to the end. And I can't wait to see how they finish this out. It's been a little bit of an odd pace season for me. And so I'm not, it's just kind of odd. So we have basically 3-4 storylines. So we got the Featherington. So this far in the Featherington storyline, the male Featheringtons seem to have issues with money, can't seem to get a hold of any of it. And instead of telling Polly that, hey, we got to get the kids married and out the door because we have no funds, Lord Featherington doesn't say anything. And so then when Polly maneuvers this horrible shenanigan, basically forcing Lord Featherington to marry Prudence, truth then comes out. Although why? When they came into the orangery and she went, oh my gosh, what are you doing with this woman unchaperoned? Why he didn't just say, what do you mean? She is my cousin. I am the head of their household. I am her chaperone. I think he could have gotten away with that. And her plan would have been kiboshed immediately. So that's where we are with the Featheringtons. Penelope is still kind of trying to do the Lady Whistledown thing, but it's getting a little bit harder to manage. Also, I think soon she's going to be faced with the consequences of spilling so much tea. It's creating a huge mess. And it forced a lot of people's hands that maybe shouldn't have or wouldn't have been forced. Yeah, she did have a hand in a lot of things. So we've got that going on. So, and then Eloise really does not want to get married, which is fine. The way she's going about it probably isn't the best way. It's a little, it's like, I just want to tell her, calm down, relax. There's only so many men in London. So no, Eloise storyline just kind of flits in the background and I don't really pay that much attention to it. Then we've got the main event. Anthony, Kate, Edwina. Anthony, Kate, Edwina. Edwina, they've made perfectly lovely. She is a lovely, charming lady. Why shouldn't she be the Viscountess? She would make a great match for Anthony. Seems as if she kind of knows at least how to be a good wife. Now, does she know how to be a good wife to Anthony? That remains to be seen. But so far, she seems to be a perfect match. And then anytime we get Anthony and Kate together, besides that first little meeting where it was like, oh, here's a woman that kind of challenges me. I haven't been challenged in a while. She's also attractive. This could be fun. Ever since that first meeting spark kind of went away. And now it's just been them sniping at each other over and over and over again. And it's starting to get old. And then we had a little bit of scale up from just her thinking he's just like every other man, to a little bit of admiration for, his place and what he does with the family. But are we going to get more? We need more. I need more to have that happily ever after. So we'll see what transpires, because Anthony has proposed to Edwina. She has said yes. And now everybody knows about it because it's in Whistledown's paper. Of course, Penelope was one of the only few people there to witness said engagement. So I think she's going to be found out sooner rather than later. I don't know, but I know that you're ready to go. So let's grab our big cozy blankets. I don't know why it's so cold here today. I got my tea all hot. My hobo fire is ready to go. So let's get to it. Yeah, I'm still wondering why they cut this bee venom sucking scene out as well.
Tell me of your wedding plan. There is no talk of a special license, I would hope.
Oh, those special licenses.
In the country? No, that will not do. You must have it here in town. In fact, I shall host the nuptials myself.
For reals? For reals. Okay. Mm-hmm.
It is like a fairy tale come true.
You deserve nothing less, Bon.
Nothing less for a true love match.
Sure.
blame me for taking you at your word when you spoke of your great fortune in rubies. Had you thought to confide your plans, then I would not be considering dismissing the servants that I have just rehired.
How old is Benedict supposed to be? Because he looks early 30s, but he's supposed to be younger than Anthony. So I don't know. It's hard for me to see him as this young college-y student.
Did I tell you we will be married by the Archbishop himself?
I thought white dresses weren't popular until after the late 1800s and Queen Victoria and her wedding.
This is the jeweler. We're here to have Miss Edwina's betrothal ring altered to fit.
But my sister and my mother have not yet returned home.
Of course. Then we shall trouble you no further.
Is that cake?
It is indeed.
Lemon?
Pardon?
I fancy a good lemon.
Might I offer you some refreshment, mister?
Brooks, only if you...
They better not try this ring on Kate. Just because she's there. That'd just be horrible. That'd be so bad. So where's Kate's chaperone in all this? Or is she considered to be too old to need a chaperone?
There is nothing appropriate about what you are doing proceeding with this engagement.
On the contrary.
He's right there listening.
Oh, and what of everything that passed between us at Aubrey Hall?
Jeweler, right there.
Do you and your sister happen to share gloves?
Yes, on occasion.
I knew it. We may use your finger to size the ring.
Oh, I beg your pardon.
That shan't be necessary.
Nonsense.
No. Well, his job is done. Step back.
It is the ring my father gave to my mother.
Just a moment.
Oh, it's stuck now.
You know?
Yes.
Just butter that up, Kate.
are you-
Butter that
Yes,
up.
almost.
Lord and Lady Sheffield sent word they are in London.
Ooh.
Seems they read
Ooh.
the engagement announcement and wish to make your acquaintance and,
Wish to make your acquaintance. They haven't even met her yet. Wow.
Miss Sharma and I would be glad of the fresh air.
Oh, I should really stay with Mama.
You will escort me. I have to wonder if you might not secretly rejoice with the Viscount to break the engagement.
Why would you ever say such a thing?
Because she has eyes.
Lady Danbury.
Mr. Dorset.
Mr. Dorset has returned.
Miss Sharma, perhaps you would be so kind as to accompany me on a turn around the lake.
I'm rather tired.
She would be delighted.
Perhaps he will convince her to stay in England after all.
She barely knows the gentleman.
Nor did I you.
Huh?
First.
So now we've got the burn. This is what we needed. The lingering glances, the slow motion. I needed this in like episode 3.
Where is your sister?
She mentioned something about flower arranging with you today, in fact.
Indeed, I am meeting her later.
That's a smooth cover there, Pen. That's smooth.
Wedding. Miss? Miss?
So Eloise needs a chaperone. Who chaperones the chaperone when Eloise just takes off?
That knot will never hold.
It is perfectly adequate.
Pardon me.
Oh no. Let go. Oh, oh. The poor dog. Oh, Newton.
Is it not Bridgerton?
Why is he taking off the suspenders, though? that made out of tissue paper?
Mr. Brooks here is just taking a look at some jewelry for me.
Whose jewelry is it? To see that those are fake? What is happening?
I would require my proper tools for a definitive valuation, but I would say you should take very great care indeed. It is rare to see stones this fine.
Now, is that not something?
That's
I
the
shall be in
plan.
communication with you should I require anything further.
No cake, then?
Another time.
And I love they just have cakes there on the standby.
Quality counterfeits. If they're good enough to fool that nibbling owl of a man, then we may well make it through the season yet.
I do hope you know what you're playing at.
I think she does.
I declare, that's rather good.
I'm skilled at more than simply standing naked. Although 2 of the founding members are women, we are still not yet allowed to enter the classroom.
So you work as a model as a way of learning from the lectures. Ingenious.
Care to take a turn?
I like her so far.
How long must I stay like this?
Forever.
What I really need is a study of the male form. The naked form.
So would this be considered proper or very improper? At the time period. Where's her chaperone?
So I had a choice to make between my family and my heart. Did you ever regret that choice?
I forget that lady marries her stepmother because their relationship is very mother-daughter-like, which is good, but I forget.
If this is not what you want, you must say something now, Anthony, before...
What I want is beside the point. I could never dishonor Miss Edwina by begging off now.
You are right. A gentleman cannot take back his word, but a woman may.
What are you proposing, Violet?
If Miss Edwina were to call off the engagement, no one would find fault with her. And you would not be dishonoring her in the slightest, releasing her from the obligation before any vows were exchanged.
How are you going to get Edwina to say,
She does not wish to end the engagement.
Yeah, she's pretty excited.
But does she know your true feelings on the matter?
My feelings are of no concern. What matters is my responsibility, which has always been to wed.
I dare say it would break your father's heart, too.
Wow, Violet. Wow.
There's something I must tell you about your grandparents and how they have, in fact, influenced our trip.
Our guests have arrived.
They need to stop doing that.
You must accompany us to the opera. We have a fine box which has been gathering.
That is Giles.
The Queen herself overseeing my granddaughter's nuptials. Her Majesty is kind to be so forgiving after everything that has happened. Even after our daughter so callously rejected the match we had found
Who
for
was the
her.
match? Who was the match they found for her?
That her parents were showing such care.
This sauce is delicious, Lady Danbury. You must have your cook give mine the recipe.
Lady Sheffield, you've got quite the sweet tooth, I do recall. And all for what?
Oh, she's still on the roll. Okay.
In your cruelty, you did us all a great service.
I hardly think this a proper dinner.
Yes,
I quite agree.
exactly.
When you cast me out, what you did was set me free. Free to raise my daughters far from your constant judgment and craven demands that they should chase wealth and titles above all else.
Well, you are a fine
Oh,
one to
here it
talk.
comes.
You speak of scorning riches, and yet you have come crawling back to snatch at our fortune. The trust fund we have set up for her,
Here it comes.
of which clearly states that she must marry a man of good English breeding to inherit. I see this one has inherited your penchant for avoiding the truth.
But they should be clearly aware that Kate has said, do not marry her, do not marry her, do not marry
I can
her.
only think that you have been exiled from good society because of your deficient manners rather than for any other sin. And I will not stand for it.
I
will not
declare...
stand for it. And since you clearly do not wish to jeopardize your social standing by associating with such company, I suggest you do not. You may leave at once.
Ooh.
And do not trouble yourself waiting for an invitation for the wedding, for you shall not receive one.
So what now?
Lady Danbury, it was quite enlightening.
My lord.
Good evening.
Ooh, ooh. Oh, oh, but,
It's regrettable, to be sure. But clearly, both Miss Edwina and I have been misled. And it is best to call off this doomed engagement before it is the cause of any more...
Oh, 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 oh.
You have made this match impossible.
But I am leaving for India.
And it is not far enough. Do you think that there is a corner of this earth that you could travel to far away enough to free me from this torment?
Which torment? What?
You are the bane of my existence. And the object of all my desires. I dream of you.
So what was he gonna do when he married her sister?
Do you even know all the ways a lady can be seduced?
So up until like 20 minutes ago, this was not an issue.
What business did he have with you?
He wishes to invest in the mines. Several of them do. And
Take it.
the mines are worthless.
And how are they to know the difference? Are they to board a ship to the Americas? Get them to invest. Take every pound that they offer. Our fortunes will be restored.
But what? They will expect a return on the investment. Right?
But Edwina, this should not be your burden.
What burden would it be to marry the person I love?
You love him.
Watching how nobly he defended us at dinner tonight, how could I not?
Oh. Oh, she was swayed easy.
Ah.
Why is Penelope upset that Eloise has a hobby?
Sharma, I see you continue here with your morning ride.
Convenient.
I will not be the cause of you losing your honor, any more than I can stand to see Edwina in pain. Please, Lord Bridgerton. Anthony, you must keep your word.
I shall see that the wedding shall take place as soon as possible.
So how are we going to get out of this one? We had the out. We had the out. They had the out. I understand now. Okay, so, So Edwina loves Anthony, which, why wouldn't she? We can see why. He pushed all of her buttons. Kate loves her sister. So she's going to do whatever she can to make that possible, setting aside her own, whatever her wants and desires are, which we knew we saw. But the talking, the glances between Kate and Anthony, this is what I wanted episode 2 and 3 and 4, which were, the lingering glances and the touches and the whatnot. That's the slow burn, them getting almost close. You can feel it. But instead, what they had them do is just fight and bicker all the time. We wanted that. We wanted that. I don't know what's up with the Featheringtons. I'm intrigued, and yet I'm not at the same time. And Eloise's storyline, I'm not really into either. And I'm not sure. I guess it's because I'm not sure what her drive is, what she's doing, and why Penelope will be upset that Eloise brushed her off for the day. I don't know either. But things are getting good. Story's rolling. That was a horrible dinner. That was a horrible dinner. OMG, hellacious. I don't know. But there we go. I think I'm just going to keep this short because, not much to say other than, wow, what's going to happen next? What is going to happen next? Whatever it is, I hope that you are there with me for the journey because it is more fun when we're doing this together. So if you have not, I would appreciate if you hit subscribe. That way you know when I drop the next reaction video to not only Bridgerton, but Moon Knight, and True Blood, and there's some other fun stuff coming up. So I want to see you there with me because, yeah. Yeah. Until next time, y'all.